So this is a Blinks section or tutorial. So this chart now explains how Blinks work. When it usually loads a page, like maybe loads a page, it sends a GET request to the server. Then the server provides it with metadata. Then the metadata is being passed through Blinks and action to create a UI with those information gotten from the GET request. So now in this part now you have to interact with the UI, either maybe filling the form and submit and clicking on a button. And when you do that, it triggers a post request on the server. Then in return, it gives you a transaction to sign. So when you sign the transaction and then when the transaction is approved, it's being registered to the blockchain. This is the fundamental on how it actually works. So let's dive into the code first. Let me cd to desktop. Then I'll be using a NestJS to build this. So let's create a NestJS let's create a NestJS project. Nest new blinks section. Let me put it this way, blink section. Okay, at this point the project has been created. Let's see to the project blink section. So code dot, let's go to VS Code to continue our project. So this is the NestJS project we created. So let's open our terminal and run npm run start dev. Let's open a developer environment. So with that, I think we can access it with cannot access it with localhost 3000. So let's kind of make some adjustments on this. Because on the source folder app, we can change whatever that's written there. Let me just change it to super team. If you save and refresh here, it gives you made a mistake. So with that, let's just get rid of it, and also the one here. So we'll be installing some dependencies for this. We'll be installing blinks and action dependency, Solana Web3 dependency, and SPL token dependency. These three. So let's install it. So this is Solana action. That is for the blinks and action. And this is for Solana Web3. And this is for SPL token. SPI apart from Solana itself, other tokens are SPL token. So when we are done with the installation, so let's start design metadata. So now we'll be working on the get request first. Get request. Get request. First of all, the response it will give when the web page is loaded. So this response is a type of action. So it's an action get response. So this action get response accepts some certain values or variables. So if you hold control space bar, it gives you the list. It needs icon, description, and label and title. Let's just do it one after the other. Icon. This is the image that appears when the web page loads. So I have a link here for the image we are going to use. Then let's add the title. Let's call it links help. Then we have the description. In the description, let's call it nice clothes. Then we have label. Then the label, let's say buy. If you save and refresh this, oh, it's an error because we have not added it to the controller. So the controller, let's see, get request. Then return this. We got the service. Let's get the function. So if you refresh, going on. Oh, we didn't return what we did. We have to return the response. So if you refresh, are you serious? Return. Then here. Okay, let's start our wait. Hope we are in the right track. Oh, I forget the fundamental. To add get request to show that this is a get request. Well, this async and await is not even actually needed. So let's just leave it like that. Now you can see the API now. What is offering us? Icon, title, description, and label. So here now, let's add the local host. Local host 3000. Add local 3000. It's not working. I know the reason, but I intentionally left it out. Now, if you are conversant with API. Now you have something called Chrome. The Chrome now determines what or which website accesses your API, from which web page, from which IP accesses your API. So in documentation of actions, you have to allow any website to actually access your API. So I have what I did for it to enable the prompts to access our API from any working in this file. See if I'm working on here. So I've already, okay, let me add it here. So this I can import it from Solana actions. I import it from Solana actions. So let's go into this and see what it actually does. So the actions now, here now, this star means that it can be accessed from anywhere. So with what method can be accessed? Get, post, put options. So which authorization or authorization is being given to the API or any web page trying to access it is being given to them. So if you save this and refresh, then you see what we have done so far. So on how the page is being reloaded, then the page now gets the metadata and renders it with the UI Blinks offers us. So with that, we can now push on to maybe advancing or creating more buttons or file. So in the course of this, let me just go straight to building a particular a UI that makes more sense. Not a UI actually, like a metadata that will give us what we actually need. So to add that, we use links. So on these links now, the links accept, I think, actions. So you can have an array of actions. So in this action, what does it accept? It accepts a ref. A ref is just like if you're using a tag to point to a particular URL, then it will also have a label. You also have a label. So what I mean, let me just use by as the label, and then here I'll just add request dot request dot URL. Let's just pass the request from here. Request, because we need the request.url. So we pass it to them, also pass it to these people here. So add to request. This have to be imported. This from comma, yes. Then we pass it to here request. So if you're wondering what we applied, You're just getting the URL, and this URL is just let me say, let's just console.log here. Console.log to get see what we actually got from there. Request dot URL. Let me show you what we got from there, and also maybe add, let me just maybe what we got from there. If you refresh this page now, you see what we got from there. A slash, that just means the main local host, that 3000. But if you are working on it outside this place, it will get you the actual link. So data part. So now let's advance. We need a form for the user to fill. Probably the form that has the phone number, uh, address, then quantity the person wants to order. Now we apply parameter on it. We apply a parameter on it. Parameter. So the parameter needs a name. So when you are working on a form, on a normal form, the form always, let me say, every input has a name. So it's just something like that. So let me say our first information we needed from any user is their address, and then let's add the label and add the label. A label is just like something that notifies them what we actually need from them. So let's say number one blinks. Number one blinks road. Something like that. If I save this and refresh, you see number one blinks road. So we have by. So let's add another parameter. Let's add another parameter. Another parameter, and this parameter will be our phone number. So we put our phone number 08. You put something that resembles a phone number to let them know, okay, oh, what you're doing here is to input your phone number. Now you have your address here, then your phone number here. And let's add quantity. The quantity the person wants to order. Let's use quantity. Let's select the person you can order from 1 piece to maybe 10. Then if you save and refresh, oh, what's going on? Save and refresh. Okay. Then now, after user must have connected, they can enter their address where you deliver the goods to them. Blanks. They enter their phone number and maybe quantity. If you click on submit, cannot find post request. So there's no post request on this URL. So let's create a post request. So the post request now is actually simple. It's still the same. Let's construct the response we give them when anybody makes a post request. Action post request. Sorry, post response. The type of this. So this actually needs at least transaction to be satisfied. Let's need the transaction to be satisfied. And let's also add a message. A message. Let me say after the whole thing, telling thank you. Just thank you for now. You can do whatever you want to do. Here now, we need to give this a stylized transaction. So I have designed a transaction, a transaction whereby I send a particular amount of token, SPL token, to a particular user. No, to the merchant. You get the user sends you a particular amount you request depending on your prices and so many other things. So I will just add the transaction because it's not actually directly related to blinks. You can pass anything at all. But I'm just trying to put the transaction, just transfer this, but I will explain what we did here. So first, here now, transaction. So we'll be needing an amount, how much to debit the user, then a public key, the public key of the user. So here is a connection now. This connection now is connecting to an RPC. An RPC is a way to connect to Solana blockchain. So you can actually get an RPC from Helios. So if you connect your wallet, you get your RPC here. This is mainnet, this is devnet, depending on which one you are using. So here now we get the public key, key format of the user. Then here now we get the mint. The mint address is the mint means in this case now is the token you want to debit the user. Maybe you want to use a USDC, you want to use Solana, you want to use Bonk, you want to use WEN, depending on any token you want to use, just add it here. Then here is your merchant, is the merchant wallet, your wallet now as the user, sorry, as the owner. Now you are the one having the store. So if the person confirm the transaction, you have to receive the amount in here. So on that scenario, we also need the public key of the mint address, this mint address. Then the transfer amount, I'll just do this, so it's not actually necessary. Transfer amount. Then now we have to get the associated token address, because every SPL token on Solana has an associated token address, ASA. So when we get the one for the user and one for the merchant, because that's where we'll be transferring in between. So now we check whether they exist. So if we check whether they exist, now then we build a transaction. So in this case now, if this source is for the user, if the user does not have this associate key created on his account, on his wallet already, in this case now he has to create it. He has to create the account for the user. Then here is for the merchant. If the merchant does not have it, you have to create it for the merchant. So in this case, now you have to get the decimal of every token. Every token has a particular decimal they use. It's just like Naira now. Naira is like Naira, or almost all the world currency uses two decimal. You can only get in your bank account now. You can't get maybe 1000.567. You can only get 1000, like only two decimal place. So in blockchain, so many ones have 5, some have 10, some have 18, depending. So you have to get decimal of every particular token you are trying to get from the user. So with that, now we construct a transaction here. This is the instruction we are trying to give the user now. So from the source, associate associate associated token address to the merchant's own, you the owner of the shop. Then who is the signer? The user is going to sign it. And then here you just adjusted the amount, whereby you multiply the decimal with the actual amount the user wants to collect. Because now uh, the blockchain understands when the decimal is not applied. You get. So when the decimal is not applied, so it multiplies it with how many decimal it was supposed to be. So here we get the latest block hash. Then we say that the fee payer is the user. Then here we return the serialized transaction. So in this case now, we have to return the transaction. We just name it the same. Set transaction. Await transaction to process. So whatever it returns is what we need. So it needs this amount. Let me just copy it from there. It needs amount and the public key to get you what you need. So it needs amount and public key. So we also accept it from here. Then we need to pass it to this place to get request to able to offer us those information now. So with that, so this link here was it. So this link here now, we add it into this. You can, I don't know, they can use string concatenation though, but I'm just using this way, this link now. So I want to get amount from here. I want to just get all the amounts. Let me still use this here, and then place the amount here. So maybe you want to sell it maybe 200, depending on what you want. So let's place the amount here. 200 was going, oh, should be inside this place. So 200. So whenever the link is being clicked, it provides us with all the details here, and then also the amount with the link. So in this case, we're going to put this here and also return the response. Once this is set, Okay, for the public key, we can get it from request. So we can say const uh, pub key is equal to request dot body dot account. Due to this error, let's just set this to any. So here now, let's console.log this. Console.log the pub key. Pub key is just the user's wallet address. So I think we are set. Okay, we are set. Let's check what we built. When you refresh this, okay, we connect, then we enter the number 34. Then take the phone number. I say okay, I want 2 pieces. Exactly. Please can I post? Oh, you have not registered the post request properly. Oh, we have not even registered the post request at all. So, and also the query. Let's get the query we did via the amount. So amount is a number. So let's create the post request. The post request. We need to import post request here. So save post request. Now we'll return what are we returning here? We'll return from service app service dot get post. So what are you accepting amount and request? So we still use the same thing here. We use the same thing here. And oh sorry, this should be here, not here. This should be here. This should be here. So from here we accept the amount and then the request. I think we should be good. What's the error? Oh yes, we have to add the comma here. I think we should be buy now. If you click on buy again. Okay, it's executing. Now you have to confirm. I'm not using USDT or USDC. I'm just using a particular token. It's just on mainnet. It just doesn't have value. I'm just using it for this. So if you approve this, it runs and completes. So now you can ask, okay, how do you save the information you got from the UI? Sorry, from the user. So I'm not going to teach you how to kind of maybe integrate database and get the information, but all the information. Oh, well, hold on. Okay, let me say all the information now can be accessed through here. Now you can access all the data collected from that form, from request request.body.data. Let's console.log this too. Console.log data. If you console.log data, let's save it. Let's also see. Let's just refresh this page. Let's try it again. It tells you to connect wallet. The number 45 blinks. Then you add a phone number. A phone number. Then let's say we buy one. Then you approve. If you notice something, the prices does not change when you order one or more. So let's adjust our code to actually get us the correct amount. So now, if okay, now we see you can now access every information, address, phone number, and quantity. So due to this quantity now, we can use this quantity now. Let's say we multiply the quantity by the amount we collect. We need to work out. Do I have to do with that outside? So this is data.quantity. So now with this now, it multiplies the amount by the quantity the user needs. So when we save this and refresh this page, let's connect first. This page is at too much. Okay, number 67 blinks. Let do road. Then add your phone number. These are their phone number, and then others. Let me say 3. So 3 times 200 should be 600. So if you execute, it should give you the actual thing. Yes, it's giving you the actual price. It's here going to send 600, and if you approve, it goes out fine. So here it gives you the information. You can save the information and then maybe web bill the share to the person. So I think this is all for this course. But there's many advancements you can do depending on whatever you want to do. So if you need any maybe further in explanation, I will also can reach out to me, and I will be uh, leaving. I'll be leaving the documentation, the actual documentation for this, and also the GitHub where I uploaded this in the comments, or sorry, in the description. Thank you.